Hello and good morning, students and teachers, and welcome to the Bega RSPCA. Thank you for coming along today to see how we operate and the excellent work that the RSPC does in rescuing and rehoming companion animals. Does anybody here have a rescue pet? Before we get started on our tour, there's some important things that I need to tell you to ensure the safety of yourselves and the safety of our animals here too. Your behaviour around the animals needs to be super sensible at all times. This means no loud boisterous voices, and you will need to walk at all times and not run while you're here. You may spook or frighten the animals if you're being silly around them. This may then encourage them to become aggressive because they're scared. I'm sure nobody wants to leave here with an unpleasant memory of being bitten. It's also important that nobody bang loudly on any cages. Why might that be? Can anybody have a guess? Yes, that's correct. It will also upset the animals and create unnecessary stress for them. It isn't a good idea to poke fingers or put hands into cages, as you may get bitten due to the animals feeling threatened. Also, please make sure you stay with the group at all times and don't wander off on your own. I don't want anybody ending up separated from the group or lost. Some lucky students will be chosen today to be able to participate in the feeding and handling of our animals here. Who would enjoy that? If you're one of those chosen, then there'll be a few rules. Firstly, you'll need to wash your hands and then be provided with some of these disposable gloves to wear. If you're allergic to these, you'll need to let us know beforehand. Can anyone tell me why we might need to wear these? Yes, that's right. The gloves are for your protection and safety and help with the prevention of your skin being contaminated against any possible bacteria or diseases from the animal feed or the animals themselves. You also need to wear one of these protective aprons for hygiene reasons, and also hygiene reasons against germs and bacteria, and also to ensure your clothes are protected so your clothes don't end up with stains on them. The animals here all have their own special food in the feeding plans, and to prevent risk of contamination, I'll ask you to please not feed any of the animals your own food. The animal food here is all prepared in a special area away from our staff kitchen to prevent cross-contamination by microorganisms. Who knows what a microorganism might be? Put your hand up if you know. Yes, good answer. It is a very small invisible bacteria that can be very nasty and make a person or animal very sick, kind of like food poisoning. Now, I don't mean to scare anybody, but just in case there's an emergency here today, we have an emergency assembly area, which is to the side of the building at the car park area where you would have come in today. The shelter has an alarm system that sounds like a bell in the case of an emergency, such as a fire, and it sounds like this. I'll show you an example. So it's very loud, you can't miss it. So, that signals you to head to the emergency assembly area immediately. Now, how do you think we'd make our way to the emergency assembly area if we needed to? Would we all run like mad? Can anyone put their hand up and answer? Yes, that's right. We wouldn't run, would we? Somebody might get hurt. We would all walk quietly and sensibly without pushing or shoving. So, let's start. Thanks again, boys and girls, for coming along today, and I hope you enjoy the tour. Now, are there any questions before we start? Hands up if you have one.